scenario. You buy a brand new car, in this case this beautiful Alfa Romeo here. However, you want to change the color. This one, you don't like it being white. You want to do it a nice different color. Now, traditional vinyl, let's see, the benefit is that you can get a cool new color and it can look amazing. The downside to a traditional vinyl would be is that once it's damaged, you can make a hole easily in it. If you need to replace, say, one panel after a year, it might look a bit mismatched to the rest of the car because it's normal for these traditional vinyls to fade after a while. So enter colored PPF. So today, let me show you this sample. We're going to experiment with this car here with a cotton candy pink colored PPF. Let's check it out. So why have I brought you outside? Well, let me introduce you to a little tip here, which you can also use if you are looking at a traditional vinyl wrap. You should always look at the color in direct sunlight. If you're looking at a sample book, it's never going to be 100% a good representation as would you see a little bit of a bigger material sample. But not only that, even if you have only got a small sample, you should always look at it in sunlight to get the final finish. So let's start with the application. So unlike traditional vinyl, which is a dry application and also using a little bit of heat as well, PPF is a wet application, even when it's colored. So the benefit to having a coloured PPF rather than a coloured vinyl is that it's going to be self-healing and look more like traditional paint, just how you'd want anyway if you were going to do any kind of colour change on a car. The downside of it though is that with obviously a colour change, you need to apply it right around the edges and cover up any of any of the traditional paint on the car as well. So with PPF, usually where it's just a clear PPF, we usually like to not remove badges and panels, which means that we would go right to the edge where possible. So for example, you would go right to the edge here on traditional PPF, but with this one being coloured PPF, if we were going to apply this to the full car right now, we'd actually remove the bumper, for example, so we can tuck the PPF right inside. That way you get full coverage. This can sometimes be a little bit of a downside because, for example, like certain door shuts and things like this, they're not really made to be wrapping things inside. Of course, if you're going to do a wrap or a colour change on a car, you want to do it properly and you want to cover up any areas where you possibly can see the original colour of the car. We try and even push in as far as we can behind the hinges in the doors. Just say, even though there is a template for this PPF pre-cut,
even though they have a template for the pre-cut for the PPF, this one is we need to insert inside to cover all the white part, because this one is different for the PPF clear.
Even though again this is a colour, actually the benefit of this is with traditional vinyl, sometimes the warranty for like upper facing panels is even as little as like 4 or 6 months in this region, which is absolutely crazy, and I wish that people would be honest about that when they are selling wraps to people. But this one actually has the same warranty as a traditional PPF, so that can be 8, 10, 12 years depending on the brand as well. And one more benefit to that is if you do manage to have a small accident in the future and you need to replace, say, one door panel, you shouldn't have to worry about any change in colour over time with this. So you should be able to replace that one panel that maybe had like a door ding or something like this that unfortunately damaged the PPF. Should look absolutely perfect, done and replaced in a day and on your way. As always with paint protection film, whether it's coloured or it's clear traditional, is that you should be able to apply it, but then after a few years, if you want to remove it for any reason, should be able to do this without any damages, blade marks or anything like this. As I always say, it's very important with installation. Check out the sparkle. Now tell me that's not like real paint. Just to make a note as well, this is a sample only. So if we were really doing this car, we would actually remove the badges as well and remove any small vents, things like this, where we can fold the PPF behind to get as flush finish as possible. So if you have a look at the original paint here, see the depth of the metallic versus the paint protection film, also a very deep metallic, so I think you'll agree, you can't really tell the difference. So that's it for today. I'm gonna let Ramon do the outro.
Please like, share, subscribe. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.